What's up, guys? It is Sam here, and today I wanted to talk about Andrew Yang and the rest of the competitors for the Democratic candidate for president in our Facebook ranking. So we took three different factors of engagement and progress, and then we took an average of those three. Each one of those three, we stacked ranked every single candidate. So all 12 candidates, in each one of the three factors that we chose the total number of likes, the growth rate relative to the average growth rate to see if they're gaining ground or losing ground, and the number of people talking about them. And we took an average of those to see who's actually winning. And that is what we're about to get into. So if this is your first time here, what's good? My name is Sam, and for those of you who are returning, you had better be pressing that thumbs up button. It helps out the YouTube algorithm. Okay, so what do we have here? We have Social Blade. Social Blade tracks different social media sites, and it tells you the statistics on the specific page. So right here we have Andrew Yang on Social Blade. And we have the total number of likes, right? So we looked at this, the total number of likes. We also looked at the talking about. So what we have is this divided by this minus 1 to give us the growth rate in the total people talking about it, because it's a very variable number. So what we did is just take the beginning minus or the starting point minus the ending point, or the starting point divided by the beginning point minus 1 to give us the growth rate. And then lastly, what we did is take the right here, the monthly average likes divided by 2. So that gives us about 2 weeks. Plus this time period here is about 2 weeks. And we took this minus this to compare if the average 2-week period is similar to the current 2-week period. We did this for every single candidate, and this is what we came up with. We have Tulsi Gabbard coming in as number 1 on the Facebook ranking. Number 1. Wasn't even here when we started these rankings back in September because she wasn't in that debate, but she is number 1. Now, when we did the average, we didn't do the straight average. So as you can see here, we have 0.6, meaning that the total number of likes that somebody gets over a 30-day period, in my mind, has more relevance than the growth rate, because you can have somebody growing at a very fast rate that is large, or who's small, but the total sheer number of likes is an important factor. And so we have factored it as a 60% weighting. The other two, in terms of the 2-week growth period relative to the average growth. So basically, over the last 2 weeks, is it higher than lower than the average? Because then we know if they're going up or if they're going down, right? And then the last one was just the number of people that are talking about them as a percentage. So let's take a look here. And the top 3 we have is Tulsi Gabbard, Pete Buttigieg, and Bernie Sanders. Number 4, if we look over here, is Andrew Yang, and number 5 is Amy Klobuchar. So Amy's not really doing much anywhere else, but she had a tremendous increase in terms of the people talking about her over the last 2 weeks. So that is good. She also ranked high in terms of her growth rate. She was 4th overall there. And then the total number of people who were liking her shit over the last 2 weeks, she ranked number 7th. But that's not a ton. If you come down here to Elizabeth Warren, right, she's number 5th, even though a lot of the polling data has her number 1. She's lost about 40% of the people that were talking about her over the last 2 weeks, which translates into being about 7,000 below the average number of likes that she's getting. So she's well below the average. Over the past 2 weeks, meaning she's losing momentum. However, she still has the most number of likes on her page in the last 30 days relative to all the other candidates here. So that's kind of interesting. Andrew Yang, let's just touch on this quickly. Now, the number of people talking about him relative from 2 weeks ago to today is positive, but it's virtually zero, but it's still positive. And if you compare it, you have Pete, Elizabeth, Beto O'Rourke, and Julian, as well as Tom. So there's 5 people who all have negative growth rates, meaning there's less people talking about them, they're getting less relevant. So at least you're positive, which is a good thing. It is close to zero, which is not great. He's also doing better than his average. So over the past 2 weeks, his average has been lower than the last 2 weeks, meaning he's gaining momentum right there, even though less people are talking about him. And you could have some of these things where they go back and forth, right? And lastly, he ranks number 4th in terms of people who have liked his page in the last 30 days. Still good. Still good. I do think that he's potentially losing a little bit of steam, but time will tell. Time will tell. If you guys have any questions about any of this, leave them down below in the comment section. And at the end of the videos, I actually get into the comments and answer them at the end of these videos. So if you use the hashtag Stolt, I can answer it down below. And what we're trying to do here is just get the awareness around what we're doing in terms of understanding the relevance of these candidates in terms of the eyes of the American public. I think that there's a better way of doing that than looking at very antiquated, say, polling data that is just full of different biases and sample sizes that are very small, relatively speaking, to what we're looking at. So if you want to help get that message out, share this video with somebody. Press that thumbs up button if you don't want to share the video, but it does help out the channel. So let's go over here. This is across Canada. What's good across Canada? My girlfriend's from Canada. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I'm assuming he's referencing Andrew Yang, because I think that has a Asian type of a connotation to it. Patricia, what's good, Patricia? So this is in reference to Andrew Yang and Elizabeth Warren are tied in the new campaign website ranking. So if you want to check that out, go back to the channel. What's good? And don't forget to subscribe. So should hang out in the social networks much. Not saying the net doesn't have value. However, maybe some time spent in churches with old folks discussing humanity first will get more traction. His wife, Evelyn, will be a great asset for the women. So I think that there's multiple different approaches for sure, 100%. But I think that the Yang community should do whatever they think is most native to them, most comfortable to them, because if they try to do something that is out of the ordinary or that they don't want to do, like go to fucking church, to each their own, right? But it's not something that I would care ever to do. But the amount of people that are going to be voting in 2020 have a higher, like 53 and younger, are actually going to represent around 65% of the total voting population in 2020, potentially even higher than that. And 53 and younger tend to spend more time online. So I honestly think that there could be a higher ROI or addressable market if that time is spent on social media all over the place, just promoting what their objectives are, what's important to them. And then this is going to be the last question we have here. If you guys want to say what's up on Instagram, there's links in the description. Check out TikTok. TikTok's exploding. That's the first link in the description for social. And TikTok is exploding. Come over there and say what's up on TikTok. So AmeriCorp LLC says, how would you figure Yang started from zero in your analysis? I mean, the people he's up against having decades in name recognition. I like to see the numbers on this. I'm not exactly sure what AmeriCorp means. This is in reference to Andrew Yang and Elizabeth Warren tied in the new campaign website ranking that you can check out on the channel. But I don't know exactly what they're referencing. How would you figure Yang started from zero in your analysis? I mean, Yang started from zero basically 2 years ago. He did have some recognition just in his world of business and tech, right? He had some type of awareness. So, I mean, that's starting from some point. I'm not sure what you mean, but thank you for the comment. I appreciate it. If you guys want to see your comment read and talked about and commented on, leave it down below. Appreciate you. Peace the fuck out.